the website is a first-year system. I actually think, and this is going to maybe surprise some of you, I think most church planters actually spend too much time on their website. I have noticed that there's no correlation between the quality and in-depthness, if that's a word, of a church website and their ability to launch large. I would rather you have less information and make it clear than to build one of these multi-layered, 18 links deep kind of websites. And I sometimes just wonder, where does the planter get the time to build out this website when you've got to be doing all this other stuff? So I would rather you spend less time on the web and more time in the community. Less time, with high tech and more time with high touch, out trying to reach people. So here's our do and don't. And believe me, all of the www.easybuildawebsite.com companies that were going to sponsor this conference, when they saw this, they bailed. They said, look, this is, we sell this big product. And I'm like, they don't need it. You don't need a big product in the early days. Now, when you grow and you build the website, add all the stuff. But 95% of what people are looking for regarding your new church is found in these first 6 bullets here.
Do include where your church meets. And make it easy to find. Because I know people hate going to your website, looking for it, and not being able to find it.
Include what time you meet. I've been to some of your sites and some church sites around the country. I can't figure out what time they meet and where they meet. And I click 10 different places to try to find this. And I just give up and go to somebody else's church.
Directions to the church's location. Are they clear? Are they concise? Easy to find?
You say, well, everybody knows where 123 Main Street is. But if you're reaching someone who's in transition and they just moved there, tell them how to get there. Give them a link at best to, Google Maps or MapQuest or something like that.
Give them what to expect at the service. Just a short little list. Because if it's an unchurched person, they might not know how to dress, what it's going to be like. Tell them it's casual. If it's casual dress like the Journey is, we say casual dress. Let them know what to expect.
You know what the number one question an unchurched person asks when they decide to come to your church? How long does it last? Do you tell me on there that this is a 90-minute service? Or is it a 65-minute service? Or, you can do one of those things, in and out in about an hour? People want to know that, what to expect of the service. Dress is huge, because most unchurched people today still think they have to dress up. And so that you're putting out that it's casual is important, or if it is suit and tie, say that. We wear Sunday best, and most people will be dressed in a coat and tie, but if you don't have that, you're still welcome here. Tell people what to expect. And then they want to know a little bit about you, and I don't know what that was supposed to be. A little bit about you and any staff that you have that's on staff. They like to read that stuff about the pastor. And I was surprised at this. We put a click-through tracker on some church planting websites that we worked with, and one of the things people are interested in is about the pastor. And so, are you a normal person? Do you, are you married? Do you have children? Do you live in this area? What kind of stuff do you like to do? Just normal stuff about the pastor and any staff. And then a little bit of history of the church. And where you can get that? You can get that from that presentation that you put together for your funders. 2 years ago, my wife and I were doing this, but then we felt God directed us. I wouldn't use the word called, but we felt God directed us to start considering what a new church in this area would look like, and we saw the need, and we fell in love with the people in the community, so we moved here, and this is what we're doing, and here's kind of what we think. Don't include, and please don't point, don't laugh, don't think of churches that you know, okay? Don't include too many pictures of the lead pastor, all right? Be careful along the lines of this. Don't include too many pictures of the lead pastor's spouse. Don't start blaring music the moment I log on to your site. You're trying to do this at work, and you're backstage, and all of a sudden, music comes blaring through, and it's like, what are you listening to? And I certainly don't have any under construction signs. If you don't have that on your site, just leave that link off. Isn't that terrible to click on it? Let me read about the pastor that says under construction. Come back 2 months from now, it's still under construction. Maybe I better find another church. Just leave out the about a pastor link.
And don't do anything that takes a long time to load on a slower connection. Of my pet peeves, this is the worst one. If someone sends me a link and I open the website and then all of a sudden that thing pops up, 20%, 30%, I close it. I don't even look at it because make it simple so it pops up right away.
Yeah, don't use insider language. Don't have a link to your personal blog. That may surprise you. I'm not down on blogs. I am down on people who need an editor for their blog. But a lot of church planters find some kind of personal recognition through doing this personal blog. But I've actually noticed at this stage to have a blog is really just an invitation to argue. And so I want them to come to the church and make up their mind based on the experience of the church, not because of my review of something that's going on in our city or something that's going on in our nation or some book that I've recently read. So I know this goes against contrarian wisdom, but again, folks, do that later if you want to. Get an editor, but you don't need to be spending the time on that.
Don't put anything that's poorly written or of poor quality. Proof it. Make sure that it's right grammatically and that it makes sense. And don't put any outdated content. I mean, the worst thing is if you look at a website and it's February and they have an event listed in November. If you can't upkeep the website, just put the location and the meeting time, and then that's it. Because it's better to not have it on there than to have it outdated.
Yeah, and then links to your favorite websites. That's just a bonus throw in. I mean, you have to decide on all this, how you feel about it. But the top list of the 6, I would be willing to die to make sure those things are on my site. But then those others, just don't do that at this early stage. It's going to take too much time.